Hi there, and welcome back to Jay's Toy Collection UK for another action figure breaking news video. And this is not a video I was expecting to be making this evening on this Saturday night here on Easter weekend, but McFarlane Toys has been at WonderCon and he has been dropping some fire reveals. So we will get straight into them. But before we do, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. Leave your thoughts, of course, in the comments below. And everybody, hit that like button for me. And we'll try and get this DC video trending across the world. And of course, tickle that notification bell to find out when any more action figure breaking news videos go up. Because I wasn't expecting to make this one, but here I am on a Saturday night. So let's go over to Toy Arc then for all these images from WonderCon 2024. And Todd has been dropping a lot of stuff, and we will just focus today, though, on DC Multiverse. He did some other random reveals, and my favorite quote from Todd today when he got onto his NFTs was, well, if you have too many of those in your life, you have to live without a refrigerator. So I'm not quite sure what he was talking about. Far too many toys, get your fridge. But let's move on from that and segue from the word fridge, because that will remind you of fridge to freezer to Mr. Freeze. Ladies and gentlemen, smooth as anything, my transitions here. So Mr. Freeze has been shown then here at WonderCon. Now, this was on some of the leaked lists. There are 2 leaked this videos on the channel. I will link one of them, of course, into this video. And it seems a lot of the rumors then were actually true, which is good to see, because I think a lot of these leaked to the overseas retailers early. But of course, we haven't seen what the figures look like. Some are okay, but some we'll get to in a minute. I am very, very excited for. So Mr. Freeze then on the left, a comic book version of Mr. Freeze, but almost inspired to me, it looks like, by the Batman the Animated Series design. That does look very, very reminiscent of the Bruce Timm animated design. So maybe he's been designed like that since then in the comics. I'm not too sure, but that does look to me like it's very much an animated inspired version of Mr. Freeze. One of my favorite DC characters. So nice to see more of him coming into the DC Multiverse line itself. And then we go on to one that was on the leak list that I got very confused by, because I'd never even heard of the Ambush Bug. So a few people did try and educate me in the comments section, so thank you for that, because I had no idea who he was, and I still can't remember now. But look at him there. So it's a sort of green bug-like alien. What a classic-looking sort of design we have on this character. He almost seems to be holding a baby version of the Flash or something. So educate me again. Get in those comment sections and tell me, what am I seeing here with the Ambush Bug? Because I don't really know, but he does look very, very sort of classic-y sort of designed. Very sort of funky, very wacky. So probably one I think I will end up adding to the DC Multiverse display then. And then we go over to another one of the 7-inch ultra articulated figures. Not quite sure I'd go as far as ultra, Todd, but the ultra articulated figures here. It's Booster Gold. So again, I'm talking this is a bit of a more modern version of Booster Gold. We had a more classic-y looking version, I would say, in the 2-pack with the Blue Beetle. And this is much more gold. That one was definitely a yellow looking version of the release. This is a gold deco we're getting here on Booster Gold. And then who doesn't want a Robin? So it's Tim Drake again, but this is the DC Rebirth design. So not a costume I'm particularly familiar with, the DC Rebirth version. Bit of exposed flesh there on the arms, it looks like. We've got his classic sort of yellow cape on the inside, black on the outside. Looks to be a new face sculpt, I would say, there on Tim Drake, as opposed to the other one, or at least definitely a new hairdo, I would say he's got going there. So a bit of a sort of mixed wave all over the place. Not my favourite of waves to start us off, but it will get better. So we got a wave coming up by the looks of it. I'm assuming this is going to be in one particular wave, but you never quite know with Todd and his release schedule. So Mr. Freeze, Ambush Bug, Booster Gold, and Tim Drake Robin. Then we had a bit of a recap, so we can just fire through these. So these figures are pretty much already solicited. Some are already out. Another Batgirl figure's already out there. I've seen the Nightwing get out there, and the Kyle Rayner and Kilowog 2-pack must be very close to charging now. I've seen that has got in some people's hands, so I do have that one ordered from Amazon.com. So looking forward to getting that. That's sold out in UK stock in absolute minutes. This is what I've been finding with DC Multiverse lately. Even if not quick with Todd, he can sell out quite fast indeed. So there's a 2-pack. And then here's a bit more of a controversial section. So I was watching the Instagram live feed, and this is getting boos and all sorts of things going on in the chat here when he announced these chase figures. So yeah, more platinum edition chases. So as for us in the UK, I have no idea, unfortunately, if any of us are going to be made available to us at all. Again, if you're fans there in the States, I'm sure they're quite hard to get as well, but at least you might have a little bit of a chance. Now, I'm not quite sure if these are just going to be pure chase versions packed in. There's going to be a regular version in the wave, and these are the chase variants. Or are these pure just going to be platinum chase versions? That seemed to be what he was saying. These just be random packings in a case to get. So, again, we've seen some of these on the leak list. We've got Reverse Flash in the middle there, new 52 version of Reverse Flash. That design doesn't do a thing for me. Then we got Manhunter there on the left in the sort of classic blue and red design. And then another one I quite enjoyed from the researching on my leaked list videos was the Sportsmaster there. So again, that's one of the designs I did like with that sort of Casey Jones style Turtles hockey mask on. You've got the hockey stick itself there. So I wouldn't mind picking myself up a Sportsmaster, but yeah, it might be very difficult, nigh on impossible to get. So I get why he does this. He's trying to create scarcity in marketing, isn't he, with his own line to actually get more people hyped for the line. But to be quite frankly, it gets quite annoying if you're actually an action figure collector of this line. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on these chase figures and the whole platinum chase thing in general. Overall, I'm not a massive fan of it. If you make them that hard to get that you physically just can't get them, it gets kind of irritating, I think, in the line. So not a massive fan of this, but unfortunately, it is what it is, and he's trying to create some own sort of marketing for his own line. Then we came on to another instant sellout wave over here in the UK, one that I was lucky enough to get a pre-order on. It is the Plastic Man Build-A-Figure wave. As a recap there with a Superman, the Aquaman, Batman, Green Lantern, and a fantastic-looking Plastic Man minifigure. So let me know if you've managed to get hold of this one. I assume it will be probably dropping with us quite soon. There's Todd says spring 2020. It says spring 2025 actually on here, doesn't it? Spring 25, not spring 24. Now that's unlike Todd to be a year in advance. I can't see these being in spring 25. I'm sure they're going to be coming much quicker than spring 25, but that is what he's telling us in the marketing bump here. But that is a little recap. And then here we go. Right, okay. Oh my goodness. I lost my shit, ladies and gentlemen. Lost my shit because Batman Forever Build-A-Figure wave. Now, I have wanted this for a long, long time. If you go way, way back on the Dan Who Legends and Liquor show, one of my first appearances, we were doing fantasy toy lines that we'd like to see. And my vote is on record, it's on video, it's on YouTube. Because I wanted a Batman Forever figure wave. I said, don't care who it comes from, I will buy them. But that was before my Hot Toys days. So with these figures potentially coming from Mars Toys for the villains, and of course Batman and Robin have already come from Hot Toys, do I need these? Probably not. Probably I do not need these, but am I going to buy them? I think I've already cracked. I think I have already cracked. I've already told myself, of course I've got one of these. I have wanted these for absolutely years. Now, let's be honest, this film does not hold up at all. It's a terrible Batman film. But as a 8-year-old child, as I was when this film came out and seen it at the cinema, I thought it was one of the best things I'd ever seen in my entire life. So let me know your thoughts on Batman Forever in the comments, because I'd be interested to hear what everybody else thinks. Is there a lot of nostalgia for you, or is it just me? But ever since I had that Robin figure as a kid, and I just so much nostalgia. It's a very strong word in the toy collecting community, is nostalgia, and this is giving me absolute throbs of nostalgia. So you want a classic Dick? Well, there you go. You've got one. Dick Grayson, Chris O'Donnell, Robin in 7-inch scale. I might have a Hot Toys one, but I don't have a 7-inch scale one. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get these, because I was being strong, you see. So actually, if I come over here, you can see there's a Joker figure, because I was going to sell my McFarlane movie stuff. I thought I can't collect it in all sorts of scales. Stop being silly. You can't do it. And then he shows this. So I haven't sold them yet. They're sat in the box to my left, and they might have to go back on the shelf, and you'll see why when we get to one of the other reveals at the end of this. But Batman Forever, I'm literally so excited. So who have we got here? We've got Batman, of course, played by Val Kilmer. Looks to be the sonar suit from the end of the movie. So effectively, that's pretty much a redo from the 5 or 6 pack it was of the movie Batman. It has become quite hard to get on the secondary market. Then your first time for Chris O'Donnell. Again, we haven't got the greatest images yet because all we've got is to go on is people recording from the panel, which is very helpful. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a video to react to. And then the big one, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face and Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Oh, my goodness. So it's an easy figure for them to do, I suppose, because you've got a classic sort of Two-Face from the Dark Knight suited repaint, effectively, apart from new head sculpt in terms of the body mold. And Riddler's on just a classic McFarlane body, because I can kind of see the diaper. So they may not be the greatest looking of figures. Their likenesses may not be there. We'll have to see when we get them in hand, because, or at least better images. Because the Uma Thurman Poison Ivy from Batman and Robin, that looks fantastic. You've got to give Todd his due on that one. That is a fantastic looking figure. And again, she's now very hard to find on the aftermarket. So here they are. I love that design of Two-Face. It's absolutely nuts. It's so over the top. His performance is crazy as Two-Face. And the same with Jim Carrey as a Riddler. I don't know what I was thinking as a kid, but I think that was the point of Batman Forever. It was more marketed. The dark tones of the Michael Keaton Batman films were taken away by Joel Schumacher. And we went into these sort of over-the-top, wacky kids' designs. And I was a kid at the time. So nostalgia has hit me hard. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on these. But I, for one, am going to be buying these figures. Maybe I'll keep them in on card on the wall. Maybe I could do that. That could be something different. But there is a builder figure. So from the Nightmare Scene, what a random builder figure to choose. So it's the actual giant bat from the sort of Nightmare Scene where Val Kilmer's having visions. And okay, it's an iconic scene from the movie, and it's a random one though, isn't it? It's a very random one. We could have had maybe a Commissioner Gordon or an Alfred or something. I don't know, but we've got a giant bat, so it's an unusual one. Wouldn't have been my choice of a builder figure, but I suppose it's technically a free figure, even though sometimes McFarlane does charge a bit more for their actual builder figure waves. But it kind of looked cool on display, wouldn't it? I've got to think of that. Almost looks like Man-Bat, doesn't it? I'm a fan of Man-Bat. So there is the 7-inch builder figure wave, apparently for summer of 2025. So you've got to wait a whole year for this, apparently. But this cannot be summer of 25. You know, Todd, he's far too fast for that. So that is Batman Forever and a very excited Jay's Toy Collection UK. There's a lot of the other figures. I've passed on that Anne Hathaway Catwoman with the Bat Bike or the Bat Pod. Maybe I'll have to backtrack one of those. Okay, thinking times. But then he kept going. Here we have, again, for spring of next year. Here we have Captain Boomerang. Of course, you may recognize him from the original Suicide Squad film. What a crap film that was. But the comic book versions, I quite like Captain Boomerang throwing his boomerangs in my toy collection. So Captain Boomerang will be making his way if we can get some decent availability on these figures. Another thing, Todd and Mattel, not particularly great with their international distribution, but Captain Boomerang, then he'll be definitely coming to toy collection. I'm a fan of a man with a dodgy handlebar mustache, so he's definitely coming. Classic looking character. Then we have Starfire there in the middle. Again, she was on the elite list. Sort of Teen Titans, I do believe, is the look there for Starfire. So again, I think that's the first time we've had her in DC Multiverse, or at least it's the first time in that costume, I would say. So another new one to add to the collection. So looking forward to getting her. We're really building out Todd's articulation, not quite as fancy as it could be. But when you start building them out as a display on the shelf, I do think they actually do look quite nice together as an overall display. So it's nice to have representation of these DC characters in toy form. I can see the tag at the top there saying these are the collector's edition. So these are going to be more expensive. These are going to be in the £30, $30 price range. I'm hoping we get some more accessories with them. And actually, it's just made me think I've missed the sort of hench, the buff Superman with with Crypto, the super dog. I've actually got that one. Is that available anywhere still? I'll have to do a bit of research after the video. But yes, the penguin. The penguin. The penguin is here. Oh, yes, a classic penguin. Now, if you saw, again, my leaked video, this was on my number one or number two once. He was way, way up there. I said, I hope it's a classic look. And they have not disappointed. Oswald Cobblepot himself in a very classic look. So you get his umbrella at least. Hopefully more accessories. Monocle, top hat, waistcoat, tails on the suit looks fantastic, I think. So very, very excited for a classic Penguin. The classic Riddler figure pulled me back in for the 4th time to McFarlane Toys. So I would love to now have a classic Batman lineup of his rogues gallery, and Penguin certainly is an essential one to add into the collection. So been waiting for this for a while from Todd, and finally in 2024, or apparently 2025, we will be getting a classic looking Penguin. So I, for one, couldn't be more excited about a classic Penguin. And I think there was one more. There was one more section to go to. We'll get to that one in a second. We'll just go to this, and then we'll get to the sort of main event of the video. So more collector's editions. Then again from Elise. This is a sort of manga version of Batman. So not one I particularly recognise. So I'm just going to pretty much pass straight on by that one. We've got the Connor Kent version of Superboy. Again, I wouldn't mind adding to the collection again. I think it's the first time we've had Connor Kent, or again, at least in that particular outfit. And then one in the middle there, Sergeant Rock then. So we were speculating on this in the other one of those leaked this videos. Sergeant Rock, we are getting a classic looking military sort of World War II soldier figure there. Helmet on. Looks like he's completely sleeveless actually. So he's not bothering with the armor or protection there. He's going straight into battle. So a 7-inch scale soldier. So maybe it's potentially when you could do a generic sort of army build, you're going to use him as a generic character rather than actually as Sergeant Rock himself. So he is coming then to the collector's edition at some point in the future. So not a bad reveal at all. But we will then get to what's going to be the sort of main event of the video. He did talk about McFarlane Digital, so we better briefly cover it. As I said, he gave me that fantastic quote I gave you at the start of the video about not having room for your refrigerator if you have too many toys. Todd's really doubling down on NFTs. I do love me a bit of Todd, my favorite comic book artist of all time, but he's digging himself a hole with these NFTs. I don't think he's going to get them over, but he's going to try his damnedest. The more we resist them, the more he's going to try and push on them. So, Animal Man. You see an Animal Man there, but that's not actually a figure. You see a digital, effectively an NFT of Animal Man. It's a digital builder figure. So that is, well, that's what it is. That's not much use to man nor beast, really. Let me know your thoughts on NFTs. Am I completely wrong? Is McFarlane Digital a good idea? Have I completely missed the point on this one? But I don't think I have. I really don't quite get the whole digital thing. But then we have some actual figures, I do believe, here. So, again, from the list, we've got the Superman, the Man of Steel Superman. So he looks okay. Is this going to be plastic-free packaging we're almost seeing here? We're seeing some artwork on what it effectively looks like to be the front of the packaging. I assume we're going to get digital versions of the figures as well, but you actually do get an articulated actual figure in hand as well, a bit like he's done with one of the most recent waves, like the Green Lantern and the Batman there. And then, but in the middle, the other two, ones I was again excited by on the leak list, because it's more classic looking DC characters in their classic look. So we've got the Atom there, we've got the Ray Palmer version of the Atom. Not much to go by at the moment. We've just got potentially the packaging image, so can't tell much from that, apart from obviously the costume he's going to be in. And then we've got the Green Arrow himself, the Longbow Hunter edition. So that was the one I was potentially hoping for. It's going to be the same as the DC Icons, I believe, did the Longbow Hunter, the hooded version rather than the hatted versions. But it does look like to be the Longbow Hunter's version coming, at least in physical form. But now, without further ado, then, let's main event the video here. Oh, I'm trying not to buy vehicles. Where am I going to put this? A 7-inch scale Tumbler from the Christian Bale Dark Knight movies. My God, do I want one of these? I love me a Batmobile. My favorite Batmobile has to be probably the animated series one, then the 89 Batman one, and if I had to take the bronze medal position, the bronze medal would go to the Tumbler. Love the Christian Bale films. Fantastic trilogy. One of the absolute best film trilogies you will ever see, in my opinion. And the Tumbler, this is going to be huge. Todd was hinting at the panel, you're going to have a lot of space for this one. I'm going to have to literally hang this on my wall or something, because I don't know. Not only is it going to be wide and chunky, it's going to be a lot of girth here, a lot of girth, a lot of depth. It's going to be tall. So, that's going to be big, isn't it? So, do you want a Tumbler? Are you going to get a Tumbler? Hopefully, it will be reasonably priced, because his vehicles so far, to be fair, have been quite good. The 89 Batman with the Batmobile was quite hard to get. Does seem to be already available now on Amazon. Todd was talking about these, I'm assuming being some form of online exclusive, because he was talking about retailers only wanting big box items potentially the Christmas season. But then, of course, the internet has helped so we can get big stuff all year round. So he is doing the Tumblr. The rumor was true. Oh, that is exciting. But it gets even more exciting. It gets even more exciting. Lucius, bloody Fox. Lucius Fox. Morgan Freeman finally getting an action figure. I don't think he's ever had an action figure. Let me know in the chat if I am completely wrong. But I don't recall ever seeing a Morgan Freeman action figure. But here it is. Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox. Fantastic. Again, can't particularly see the likeness from the photo, but hopefully it will be good. So finally, Morgan Freeman in a line. We now just need Michael Caine and Gary Oldman, and we got quite an in-depth Dark Knight collection here. So Lucius Fox in action figure form. I, for one, am very excited. I'm going to have to try and find somewhere to keep this Tumblr. So once again, Todd, I was trying to get out of Todd movie stuff, and he's pulling me back in. He's pulling me back in once again. But for this impromptu video, ladies and gentlemen, I've gone over 20 minutes so far on these reveals. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Of course, hit that like button on the way out. Leave your thoughts there, as I said. Subscribe if you're new, and tickle that notification bell, because Todd is not the only one from WonderCon. Hasbro will be on as I film this in about an hour's time. So I'm going to have to do a breaking news video probably tomorrow now on whatever Hasbro reveal from WonderCon. So it is all going on here in the toy world. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Jay. This has been Jay's Toy Collection UK. Breaking news everywhere. I'll see you, of course, on the next video.